Hare Krishna to everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about the Bhagavad Gita, the summum bonum of all the Vedic literatures. So before starting this video, I like to pay my respectful obeisances unto Lord Krishna by three prayers of Srimad Bhagavatam. Barhapidam natvarvapo karudayoh karudikaram vibhratvasa kanakakapisham vajantim chamalam Randhrana Vedurdharsudayad Puriyan Gopa Vrindair Vrindararanyam Shubhadaram Ram Pravishad Gita Kirti Aho Bakiyam Stanakal Kutam Ningansuyapayadapya Sadhvi Lebe Gatim Dadrujinam Tatonyam Kambadayalum Sharulam Brajema Nama Pankajanaಭaya Nama Pankajamaline Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye. Today we are going to discuss about the Bhagavad Gita and how we can learn Bhagavad Gita. In this today's video there are only four topics that we will discuss here. First, how the question arises of self-realization. What is the main goal of our life, and we will compare human life versus animal life. Second point is that how we can gain knowledge in this material world, because there are so many scientist experiments and there are so many science dictums and there is so many technology, vast technology, but this cannot help one to gain knowledge in this material world, the spiritual knowledge in this material world. And third thing is that the essence of Bhagavad Gita, the glorification of Bhagavad Gita among the Vedic literatures. Why should we study Bhagavad Gita? How we can behave in this world, that is also written in Bhagavad Gita. We can understand in daily videos also. And fourth, so when we compare about human life versus animal life, there are four propensities that are common in both humans and animals: eating, sleeping, mating and defending. But the question arises, why animal life is not very good as human life? Why animals are not considered better than humans? That is also question. One may say rational thought or reasoning power, because reasoning power is also there in beasts or cats or dog. If a cat has to steal milk from your kitchen, then she will think that when you are out of the kitchen, she will steal the milk. So there is some reasoning power even in cats. If they had to dog, he will understand that if you did not like him, there is some reasoning power in animals also. So what is better in animal life, what is better in human life, that we have to consider, and that is, why am I suffering? The question of self-realization when comes to our mind, and Lord Krishna tells that out of thousands of men, one may realize why am I suffering, and out of thousands of them one may realize, or one may be liberated. So why human life is better? Because it is also written in Mahabharata that eating, sleeping, mating and defending are common in animals. But what is better in humans? Dharmo hitesham adhiko vishasho. Dharma, the religion, is most important, and the civilized, who is called civilized person, and our Srila Prabhupada tells that one is civilized until one realizes about God, one who is inquisitive about God. And it is also that there are four problems of our life, that is birth, old age, disease and death. Any person in the world is not free from these four real problems of life. When we go to doctor, these are temporary diseases, these are temporary problems in our life. But what is permanent problem? That is birth, old age, disease and death. One may not be free. If you have any technology, you cannot be free from these real problems of life. And one realize that these are real problems of life, and there are 84 lakhs of species of life, and out of it the real problems in which any of the person, any of the animal, any of the species is not free from these real problems of life. And we are only moving from one species to another, and that's all. We are on the earth. When sometimes we do higher goods, higher work, higher karma, then we go to higher planets. If there is some bad karma, bad deeds, we go to down to patal lok, that's all lower planets. So one must be realize that these are higher lok, lower lok, middle lok, but we have to realize and go to the Golok Vrindavan, the Golok Dham, and that the question arises. And second thing, how we can gain knowledge in this material world. This is technology work, and this is technology era also. So how can we learn? There is three ways of gaining knowledge: Anuman Praman, Pratyaksh Praman, and Sabda Praman. Mainly the Pratyaksh Praman is that when one sees the knowledge and observe it from the observation. For example, there is famous dictum in our scientists that seeing is believing. Majority of the population believes that if we see the knowledge, if we have practical knowledge, if you experimentally proved it, that we do not believe anything. We don't have faith. Only when we have proved things, the facts, but they don't know that the Bhagavad Gita and our Vedic wisdom and our Vedic knowledge are facts. And we have that proved also. For example, one may say that our Vedic wisdom has only believing. For example, once a scientist, Indian scientist, asked Srila Prabhupada, your full religion is based on believing. But Srila Prabhupada said, we believe on facts. If you say that this is a chair and your son don't believe that this chair, that's wrong. If your son says he will not become young, then that's foolishness. He will become young, but there are some ignorance at that he will only child. That's wrong. If you believe anything, that's the fact. For example, we believe Dehino Ashmin Yatha De Kaumaram Yauvanam Jara Tatha Dehantar Praptar Dhiras Tatra Namuhyati. From childhood to youth to old age, a person at death changes to new body. One must not be a sober person, does not bewildered by such a change. So there is a written in Bhagavad Gita from boyhood to youth to old age. For example, the changes in our body are also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. But if one may not say that I don't believe it, that's the foolishness. That Srila Prabhupada proved that doctor by example. So one must learn about, not learn about Pratyaksh Praman, because the scientists are searching for absolute truth, but they have imperfect senses. The major fault in our Pratyaksh Praman that we have imperfect senses, imperfect eyes, imperfect learnings, outcomes. And second thing is Anuman Praman, knowledge obtained by hypothesizing, only imagination. For example, when microbiology doesn't exist, it was only hypothesizing knowledge. But in the 16th century, Anton von Leeuwenhoek, when discovered microbiology microscope, then it was proved. But until 16th century, it was only hypothesizing knowledge that there are some microorganisms exist, but it was only hypothesizing for us because we can't see. So Anuman Praman is also not the way we can gain the spiritual knowledge. Third is Sabda Pramana, knowledge derived by hearing. Srila Prabhupada tells in his teachings that we have our imperfect soul, we have imperfect senses, and it will take millions of years to us to gain knowledge from us. But the knowledge that which is perfect and which is taught to everyone, which comes in the perfect disciplic succession, we have to take knowledge from that source. So if we take knowledge from perfect source, then we will also be perfect. We may not be perfect, but our knowledge will be perfect. That's what Prabhupada tells. So when we learn from Sabda Praman, for example, the Srimad Bhagavatam was first taught to Lord Krishna to Brahma, and Lord Brahma to Narad, Narad to Vyasadeva, and in this disciplic succession, the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken. So that's the Sabda Praman. By hearing, knowledge can be obtained, and that knowledge will be perfect because it's come from the right source, Lord Krishna. We learn only Krishna's teachings. So Bhagavad Gita was directly spoken by the Lord, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Puranas, because when Srila Vyasadeva was unsatisfied, he was not satisfied that I have written 17 Puranas and all the Vedic knowledge, but I have not written something that satisfies to my heart. And at that time, Narad Muni came and told him about to write the pastimes about the Lord Krishna. Then he was satisfied. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the childhood pastime of Lord Krishna. And third thing that we have to understand, that importance of Bhagavad Gita among the Vedic literatures. Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita was directly spoken by the lips of Krishna. So it is more important than even Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna, we have to be perfect to say Lord Krishna, but Bhagavad Gita is also comes from directly Lord Krishna, so is also very sacred scriptures. And in the Gita Mahatmya, Shankaracharya explains, Sridhar Shankaracharya explained that मल निर्मोचनम पुंसाम जल स्नानम दिने दिने सकृत गीतामृत स्नानम संसार मलनाशनम. That if one takes daily bath in the Ganga water, one body will be completely cleaned. But uh, if one takes bath in the sacred water of Bhagavad Gita, then one must heart almost completely clean, and all the sinful actions are also destroyed. So the Gita Mahatmya is also very important, and Srimad Bhagavad Gita is also all the essence of the Upanishad. This is Gita Upanishad, so it has more importance. We have 18 Puranas, 106 Upanishad, 108 Upanishads, and Mahabharata the epic, Ramayana the epic. One's life is not complete to read all the Vedic scriptures and tell about their essence and got liberated. But Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it is of 700 verses. It takes all the choices that if one read carefully from the beginning and unto come to disciplic succession, hears from its guru, then one may be liberated. So conclusion is that in the Kali Yuga, it is said about the characteristics of the human life that prayeralpaisha sabhya kalavasmin yuge jana mandashu mandamatayo mandabhagya hipadruta. In the idleness of Kaliman have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, and unlucky, and above all always disturbed. In this Kali Yuga, the essence is that in this Kali Yuga we are short life. We have lifespan of majorly 100 years, but if one takes 100 years, the Bhagavad Gita is the best source to accomplish the Vedic knowledge. Just like, for example, when we buy a motorcycle, we have manual how to drive it, and we are born in this material world. How to behave in this world, it is written in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the teachings of Lord Krishna. So that's all, and it is also written in Srimad Bhagavatam, the last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, that is Nam Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranasnam Ramo Duksham Nastam Tam Namami Harim Param. The congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord destroys all sins in this Kali Yuga. So Nam Sankirtana is also very important, and we will make video on the glorification of Nam Sankirtan. I hope you like this video. You have learned about the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, why Bhagavad Gita is important, and thanks for giving precious time to us. Hare Krishna.